Little Jack has an upset stomach. His tutor suddenly pricks his finger with a needle. Jack winces in pain, blood drips from his finger. Then he lets out a burp. His stomach miraculously feels better. Just then, Jack's father, Ji-young, walks in. He scolds the tutor for treating his son this way. Jack's mother, Hai-soo, angrily approaches too. But after hearing Jack's explanation, Hai-soo realizes they wrongly accused the tutor. Though the tutor admits she acted too quickly, Ji-young remains very angry. He storms out of the room. But the next day, the tutor seems like a different person. While the family is at a party, she sneaks into the kitchen, admiring the luxurious decorations. Everything looks so fancy, she thinks. The tutor gazes enviously at everything, dreaming of having such a life. She picks up a piece of raw meat from the table and stuffs it straight into her mouth. She's never tasted anything so delicious. As she enjoys the tasty food, a maid suddenly enters, mistaking her for the lady of the house. The tutor feels thrilled when called Madam. She secretly enjoys it. She says, "I'm not Madam, but that title sounds wonderful." The confused maid doesn't understand. Then another maid enters, scolding her for stealing food. But she says, "Food is meant to be eaten." She walks away proudly. No one's ever seen such a strange tutor. Later, Hai-soo tries on clothes. The tutor happens to pass by. She stares at Hai-soo with envy. Hai-soo notices her staring. The tutor quickly smiles and nods, then nervously walks away. That night, Hai-soo hears noises downstairs. She rushes down to check and sees something shocking. The tutor wears Hai-soo's favorite dress and dances shamelessly in it. Hai-soo is speechless. She asks the tutor, "What are you doing?" The atmosphere becomes very awkward, but the tutor calmly explains, "I thought the dress looked beautiful, so I wanted to try it on." Hai-soo says, "That's my dress." Seeing Hai-soo is angry, the tutor quickly apologizes and says she'll put it back right away. She then unzips the dress and takes it off in front of Hai-soo, revealing her sexy nightgown. Then she walks away casually. Hai-soo has never seen anything like this. She's never met such a tutor, walking around someone else's house in nightwear. Hai-soo thinks something's wrong. She goes to find the tutor again, but to her shock, the tutor who wore nightwear in the living room is now dressed formally in her room. Before Hai-soo can speak, the tutor apologizes again, promising never to touch her things again. Kind Hai-soo lets it go. She turns to go to bed. Before she reaches the stairs, the tutor starts humming and touching the expensive furniture with greedy eyes. Hai-soo sees everything. Back in her room, she tells Ji-young about the tutor. She wants to fire this strange teacher, but Ji-young strongly disagrees. He says Hai-soo is being too narrow-minded. Hai-soo has to give in. The next day, the tutor enters Hai-soo's study without permission, sitting in the chair with eyes closed, like she owns the place. Hai-soo returns home and finds the study door open. The tutor quickly stands up when she hears noise. Hai-soo asks suspiciously, "Why are you in my study?" The tutor says, "I was finding books for Jack." Hai-soo doesn't question further, but she feels something bad might happen. That night, Ji-young and Hai-soo are being affectionate. The tutor happens to see them. They hug and enter the room together. The tutor stares intensely at the door. No one knows what she's planning. The next morning, Ji-young steps out of his room and runs into the tutor. He thinks it's just a coincidence, but the tutor deliberately brushes her hand against his. After the morning incident with Ji-young, the tutor becomes even bolder. The butler calls her for a meeting. He tries to show his authority, but the tutor says she only cares about Jack and ignores everything else. This makes the butler angry. He says, "Don't you know who I am?" The tutor replies, "Don't order me around." The butler shouts, "How dare you speak to me like this?" The tutor snaps back, "You have no right to tell me what to do." The butler trembles with fear. She acts more like the lady of the house than Hai-soo. In the afternoon, Jack comes home from school. Hai-soo happily greets him but sees he's in a bad mood. He goes straight to his room. Hai-soo wants to follow and ask what's wrong, but the tutor stops her, saying Jack wants to be alone and needs some space. Hai-soo is so upset she almost cries. What's worse, the tutor then tells Hai-soo to attend Jack's parent-teacher meeting instead. Because Jack is upset today, she should stay home with him. Hai-soo has had enough of this strange tutor. She says, "What are you talking about? If anyone stays, it should be his mother." The tutor replies, "I don't think that would help." Hai-soo asks, "What did you say?" The tutor says, "After all, I'm the professional here." Hai-soo says, "Let's talk about this, teacher." But when Hai-soo scolds her, the tutor suddenly acts all innocent. That night, Hai-soo notices Ji-young isn't in bed. She goes to the living room to look for him, and sees Jack's door is open. Hai-soo slowly walks over to check. What she sees completely shocks her. The tutor is actually massaging Jack's feet. She's acting more like a mother than Hai-Soo. As Hai-Soo wonders about this, Ji-young suddenly appears. He comforts Hai-Soo, saying they found the right tutor. It's rare to find someone so kind to Jack. Naive Hai-Soo believes her husband. The next morning, Hai-Soo wants to spend time with Jack, so she decides to take him to school herself. The shameless tutor appears again. Before Jack can speak, she tells Hai-Soo, "Jack doesn't seem to want this. She should take him instead." This angers Hai-Soo. She grabs Jack's hand and leaves, ignoring the woman completely. At school, Hai-Soo wants to know why Jack has been unhappy, so she quietly follows him. She sees two classmates bullying Jack. Hai-Soo quickly steps in to stop them. After asking, she learns because Hai-Soo is a famous star, the boys bully Jack every day, trying to get Hai-Soo's autograph. Angry, Hai-Soo goes to their homes. She finds the boys' mothers and tells them about the bullying. Hai-Soo scolds the mothers, but they won't listen to reason. They ignore everything Hai-Soo says. That night, the tutor hears about this. She changes into a red dress and carries a red umbrella. She waits outside the bully's home, first confirming it's the bully's mother. The woman says, "Yes, what do you want?" The tutor immediately starts slapping her repeatedly. Later, Hai-Soo hears about this. She confronts the tutor, warning her to behave properly. Hai-Soo says, "You're just a tutor. How dare you act more extreme than me?" But the tutor scolds Hai-Soo instead, accusing her of not loving Jack enough. A real mother. When her child gets bullied, a real mother wouldn't stay so calm. Hai-Soo gets completely angry and thinks about firing this rude tutor. But the tutor sincerely apologizes to her. Hai-Soo decides to let it go for now. She quickly drives to the classmate's house to apologize, but the classmate's mom shows a medical report, saying the tutor knocked out 5 of her teeth. It hurts badly now. She demands the tutor kneel and apologize. She also blames Hai-Soo for ordering the violence. Though Hai-Soo strongly denies it, no one would believe her. A hired tutor would never dare do this without her boss's orders. The classmate's mom adds, she can't forget the tutor's scary look, like she's the real mother who lost control protecting her child. Hai-Soo feels something's wrong. Back home, she tells the tutor about the kneeling demand but says, "I'd never make my employee kneel to anyone." The tutor insists on handling it herself. Next day, the tutor dresses up nicely and visits the classmate's house. She begs forgiveness for her rudeness, but the mom keeps demanding a kneeling apology. Suddenly, the weak-looking tutor turns fierce. She asks, "If you don't want your dirty secrets exposed, behave yourself." She even mentions the mom's past as a sex worker before marriage. Worse, the tutor reveals a shocking truth. "If you dare bully my son again just because he got first place, your son's soul will be destroyed by me." Why did she call Jack her son? How strange. Later, Ji-young's family attends an art show and meets that beaten classmate's mom again. Kind-hearted Hai-Soo wants to apologize again. Before she can speak, the usually rude classmate's mother surprisingly apologizes to Hai-Soo first, asking for forgiveness for her mistake. She privately tells her son that from now on at school, he must never bully little Jack again. Meanwhile, the tutor and Ji-young don't hide their closeness. They drink wine together, acting more like a couple than friends. Hai-Soo can't find her husband and starts looking around. Unexpectedly, in the hallway, she sees the tutor and Ji-young passionately kissing. Hai-Soo calls Ji-young. He hesitates to answer, but the tutor grabs his phone and throws it aside. Hai-Soo hears her husband's ringtone from the hallway. She slowly follows the sound. Just as she's about to open the door, a friend suddenly calls her name. Poor Hai-Soo misses her chance to learn the truth. That evening at home, Ji-young swims with Jack in the pool while the tutor happily takes photos. Hai-Soo sees this scene. She feels like an outsider. They look like a happy family of 3. Hai-Soo gets angry, telling her husband to take Jack to bed. But Jack doesn't want to go, saying, "The tutor let us play longer." Even Ji-young disagrees. After Hai-Soo scolds them, Ji-young reluctantly takes Jack out of the pool. After these events, Hai-Soo talks to the tutor and decides to fire her. The reason is, the tutor's behavior makes her uncomfortable. She doesn't know why, but she feels disgusted. Later in their room, Hai-Soo tells Ji-young about firing the tutor. Unexpectedly, Ji-young gets very angry. He blames her for letting emotions make her fire such a good tutor. Hai-Soo is completely confused by Ji-young's reaction. The tycoon even angrily leaves the room. This is actually the first time they've slept separately since marriage. All because of firing an employee. The tutor is packing her things in her room, but she seems very unwilling to leave. She texts Ji-young about what happened. Ji-young is also upset about this. Next day, Jack learns his tutor was fired. He yells at his mother. Why would you fire such a good teacher? She even saved me when I got hurt riding. Hai-Soo wonders why she never heard about this. She goes to Jack's riding stable and checks the security footage from that day. Seeing the tutor's excellent horse skills, Hai-Soo remembers Ji-young once said his ex-girlfriend was a skilled horse trainer. She thinks about how the tutor treats Jack. Suddenly, she realizes a terrible truth. Hai-Soo storms back home angrily. She barges into the tutor's room and pins her against the wall. She orders the fired tutor not to leave until she figures it out. The tutor isn't going anywhere. Hai-Soo's counterattack begins now. Later, Hai-Soo's assistant tells her the tutor secretly gave Jack a necklace. Strangely, she told Jack not to tell his mother. Hai-Soo immediately senses something wrong. She confronts the tutor. Why would you give my son such a thing, and tell him to hide it from me? What are you really trying to do? The tutor claims. It's just a normal lucky charm. Hai-Soo keeps questioning her. Why do you spoil my son so much? You're just his tutor, not his mother. Are you hiding something? The tutor makes more excuses, saying Jack is very likable. She treats him well, just like Hai-Soo would with any child. She sincerely promises she won't cross the line again. Without solid proof, Hai-Soo can't do more. She has to let it go. But after the tutor leaves, her whole body starts shaking. Hai-Soo feels she's seen this necklace somewhere before. She goes to Ji-young's study and searches for clues. A photo catches her eye. Hai-Soo picks it up and looks closely. She's shocked to see Ji-young wearing the exact same necklace in the photo. But what she doesn't know is, the tutor is currently secretly meeting Ji-young at a bar. They act like a couple, being very close. The tutor is actually Ji-young's ex-girlfriend. Ji-young purposely brought her into their home. She says, I will take back everything that's mine. Ji-young replies, just focus on being Jack's tutor. Don't push your luck. You better not make things complicated. She asks, then why did you let me into your home? Ji-young says, you're Jack's birth mother. My current wife is his adoptive mother. I want you both to take care of him. This way, my son will become perfect. After leaving the bar, Ji-young shows his true colors. He carries a bag full of cash to an underground fight club. He orders 2 men to fight to the death. Whoever survives gets all the money. Ji-young watches them fight desperately for money. The cruel scene gives him a sick pleasure. Back at home, Hai-Soo has been waiting for him. She confronts him about the necklace. Why does the necklace the tutor gave Jack match the one in his photo? But Ji-young refuses to admit anything. He says, they just look similar, but the designs are different. Hai-Soo is furious. She's about to cry. She doesn't believe Ji-young's excuses. She sneaks into the tutor's room and takes her hairbrush. Then she goes to Jack's room and takes his toothbrush. She's determined to find out the truth. But before Hai-Soo can find out the truth, another scandal breaks online. Reports say Jack isn't Hai-Soo's biological son. The news claims Jack isn't Hai-Soo's real child, but no one knows who leaked the story. Ji-young is furious about this. Hai-Soo feels terrible. She blames herself for letting bad people take advantage and hurt her son. Actually, the tutor secretly told the news. She wants everyone to know Jack is her real son. Ji-young figures out the tutor did it. He calls to warn her. Don't push your luck. You shouldn't make me angry. That evening, the assistant rushes home and tells Hai-Soo urgently. Jack disappeared after school. I can't find him anywhere. Hai-Soo doesn't waste time. She runs out to search for Jack. Ji-young gets the assistant's call and hears Jack is missing. He immediately calls the tutor, suspecting she's involved. Back at home, the nervous assistant accidentally slips. Hai-Soo shouldn't be driving. Ji-young wonders why she can't drive. Turns out Hai-Soo is pregnant. In this heavy rain, she's out driving alone to find Jack. Ji-young thinks the tutor kidnapped their son, but no one's more worried than her. After all, Jack is her real child. Hai-Soo is also very concerned. Despite being pregnant, she drives through the storm searching everywhere. Luckily, police call to say they found Jack. The boy learned Hai-Soo isn't his real mom and ran away to watch a concert alone. Staff members spotted him. The tutor hurries over too. Seeing Jack is safe, she sighs in relief. That night at home, Hai-Soo worries that little Jack might be scared. She gently holds her son until he falls asleep, but the tutor can only watch secretly from the doorway. All of this should have been hers. She is the real mother. Why does she have to hide? She feels bitter. Her desire to take back her child grows stronger. Late at night, while Hai-Soo is asleep, the tutor quietly enters Jack's room. Looking at her own child, she can only stay with him in secret. But just as she holds him to sleep, she hears a noise behind her. Hai-Soo suddenly appears beside her. She stares in shock at the scene. What should she do now? Hai-su calls the tutor to the living room. She demands to know what secret she's hiding. Just as the tutor is about to tell the truth, Ji-young suddenly appears. He stops the tutor from speaking further. He makes an excuse to send Hai-su away. Then he warns the tutor, Why are you so greedy? I hate greedy women. He takes out a document. Tomorrow, I'll give this to the PR team. The news will say Jack's birth mother died in a car crash abroad. That's the story people will hear. But the tutor won't give up easily. For her child, she can't just wait for defeat. So she sets a trap. First, she texts Ji-young, agreeing to leave as he demands. But she asks to meet him one last time in the parking lot. Ji-young quietly checks Hai-su's room, making sure she's asleep, then goes to the parking lot. Next, the tutor texts Hai-su, also asking to meet in the parking lot. Her plan is to make Hai-su see her, and Ji-young being close in the car. Sure enough, Hai-su arrives and sees the car lights on. Confused, she walks closer. At this critical moment, Ji-young steps out of the car. He says he forgot something inside. Ji-young steps out of the car. He says he forgot something inside and came back to get it. He takes Hai-su's hand and walks away. Seeing her plan might fail, the tutor honks the car horn. The sound catches Hai-su's attention, but then a phone call interrupts her. The tutor's plan fails. She has no choice but to meet Hai-su to say her final goodbye. To her surprise, even after all the harm she's done, Hai-su thanks her for helping Jack. But he's my son too. The tutor is forced to leave Ji-young's house. She makes a silent vow to return with a new identity and reclaim her child. 3 months later, while doing charity work, Hai-su gets a call. Her assistant tells her they found information about the tutor. Her real name is Ja-kyung. Hai-su remembers Ji-young said Jack's birth mother was Ja-kyung, who died in a car crash 6 years ago. Now Hai-su finally learns the truth. Just then, Ja-kyung arrives in a luxury car and greets Hai-su on purpose. Hello, I'm Ja-kyung. Hai-su is furious and slaps her. The shock causes Hai-su pregnancy pains. Seo-hyun takes her away. Seeing Hai-su's condition, Ja-kyung feels guilty. She never wanted to hurt kind Hai-su. She calls Ji-young. It's over. Hai-su knows who I am. After learning the truth, Hai-su angrily confronts Ji-young. You said Jack's mother died. How did she enter our home and become our child's tutor? Ji-young starts making up excuses to trick Hai-su again. He says they just had a short romance back then. He barely remembers what she looked like. He only heard she died in a car crash after giving birth, and that his mother was the one who brought Jack home. He claims he knew nothing about it. But Hai-su doesn't believe his lies. She collapses to the floor in anger. Ji-young still doesn't trust the tutor. He's afraid she'll tell Hai-su more truths, so he calls the tutor to his office and threatens her. Better stop now. 6 years ago, I made your death look real. Now I can make it real for good. But the tutor fights back. She says she won't give up. Even if she dies, she'll take him down too. Later, missing her son badly, the tutor tries to visit Jack at Ji-young's house. But Ji-young has already given orders not to let the tutor set foot inside. They even throw out her belongings. No matter how she begs, the guards won't budge. The tutor collapses in despair. She never thought Ji-young would go this far. Just then, Hai-su returns with Jack. Seeing how the tutor looks at Jack, Hai-su understands a mother's pain. She orders the guards to let her in. Touched by Hai-su's kindness, the tutor decides to tell her everything. She warns Hai-su not to believe Ji-young's lies. I only became the tutor here because Ji-young planned it all. Hai-su refuses to believe at first, but the tutor says, Ji-young's mother knows everything too. Then she reveals all about her past with Ji-young. Hai-su finally shouts, Enough. The tutor continues, That man is much worse than you think. You must never trust him. Hai-su can't believe the man she lives with could be such a monster. She asks Ji-young's mother. Shockingly, the mother confirms everything. She even tells Hai-su, the tycoon had threatened her to keep silent about this matter, or he would harm even his own mother. Poor Hai-su can't accept the truth. She stumbles back home, only to witness an even more heartbreaking scene. She gets so shocked that she loses her baby. Following Hai-su's request, Seo-hyun takes her to a private hospital and orders the doctors to keep everything secret, even from Ji-young. At the hospital, Hai-su feels devastated. She refuses to eat or drink all day. But even so, she tells her assistant not to worry and to go take care of Jack. Right after the assistant leaves, the tutor shows up. But Hai-su doesn't want to see her, because this woman's appearance ruined her life. The tutor knows she's at fault. She kneels down to beg for forgiveness and stays kneeling all night. In the morning, she prepares a full breakfast for Hai-su. Though Hai-su throws it away, the tutor doesn't complain. When Haisu goes for a walk, the tutor hands her shoes first. Haisu sits in the garden but sees the tutor cleaning inside. Though Haisu always rejects her, the tutor keeps cooking meals patiently. Finally, Haisu speaks to her. She tells the tutor, "Don't feel guilty. The baby's death isn't directly your fault. You don't have to do this." The tutor grabs Haisu's hand, begging her to eat. "You need strength to fight that crazy man or to punish me, the bad woman." She pleads with Haisu to save their child and protect Jack from his cruel father. Haisu is finally moved by her words. Though she lost her own baby, there's still another child to care for. That day, the tutor dresses up nicely. Following the plan, she comes to the house again. When Ji-young hears the news, he rushes back home. Guiltily, he tries to pull the tutor outside, but she only wants her son back. Suddenly, Haisu appears. Ji-young quickly runs to explain, but Haisu ignores him and asks the tutor directly, "What are you doing here?" The tutor says, "I came to take Jack. He's my son." Ji-young shouts, "Are you crazy? How could he be your son?" The tutor yells, "He is my son. A father like you and this fake father. Get out of my way." Ji-young tries to forcefully remove her. Seeing this, Haisu screams. She tells the tutor, "Don't you dare act like this here. Anyone who tries to take what's mine, I'll kill them with my own hands." Seeing Haisu's anger, Ji-young drags the tutor outside. He never suspects this is actually a plan between the two women to trick him. That night, Ji-young tries to explain to Haisu, but she speaks first. She says for Jack's sake, she doesn't care about Ji-young's past and will help him deal with the tutor. They can't let anyone take Jack, the son I raised myself. To gain Ji-young's trust, Haisu even wears his favorite perfume. So Ji-young completely believes her. But the next day, Ji-young gets a lawyer's letter from the tutor, challenging him in court. As Ji-young worries about this, Haisu tells him, "As long as I don't admit Jack isn't my real son, she can't win the case." But Ji-young still isn't sure. He finds the tutor and grabs her by the neck, wanting to end her life. If the tutor disappears from this world, all problems would be solved. Just as the tutor is about to pass out from choking, Haisu comes looking for her. Hearing fighting sounds from the room, Haisu guesses Ji-young must be inside. She quickly shouts to stop him, warning Ji-young. She'll call the police if he doesn't stop. Ji-young finally lets go. The tutor escapes quickly. Angry, Haisu pulls Ji-young into the room, yelling, "You have no right to touch the tutor. She's the real victim here. Only she can judge this woman." On trial day, the tutor tells the judge, "After giving birth, I couldn't contact Ji-young. One day, the child got seriously ill. I went to Ji-young's house, but no one opened the door. I had to leave the child there. 6 years later, Ji-young finally let me return home, but only to tutor Jack and help Haisu raise him." The courtroom erupts in shock, but Ji-young doesn't care. He's confident. When Haisu testifies, to Ji-young's surprise, she turns against him, confirming everything the tutor said. Considering Jack's upbringing, the court rejects the tutor's request. But this was all part of their plan, just step one in ruining Ji-young, making him look evil to the public. Though confused, Ji-young takes the key and opens the nursery door. But instead, he sees no decorated room, just a blood-stained dress. Ji-young freezes in shock. He screams at Haisu, "What did you do to my child?" Haisu doesn't explain. She slaps Ji-young hard, then says, "You killed my child. I've already lost one child. I can't let my other child stay with a crazy father like you." She doesn't want Jack to grow up and become a psycho like Ji-young. But Ji-young refuses Haisu's demand because he's planning something worse. That day, Ji-young finds the tutor. He threatens her to hurt Haisu. "If you do it, I'll give you everything you want. You can return to the family openly and live with the son you've been missing so much." But the tutor calls him crazy. Ji-young threatens her again. "Either your foster mom or birth mom must die." That night in the elevator, the tutor meets a masked giant man. Seeing his scary face, she knows there's trouble. She purposely drops her bag. While picking it up, she notices the scar on his hand. Now she's sure he's here for her. Outside the elevator, she pretends to check her phone, letting him go first, then runs to her car. While calling Haisu about being followed, the man suddenly reappears. She quickly locks the doors, but he opens it first. As they struggle, the tutor bites his hand hard. Before he reacts, she drives away fast and calls Haisu immediately. She knows Ji-young sent him and warns Haisu to be careful. But Haisu worries more about Jack's safety. She doesn't know what else this man might do. Next morning, Haisu stops Ji-young, saying she'll send Jack abroad to study. Before Ji-young answers, the tutor enters and tells Ji-young she is the tutor who will take young Master Jack abroad for studies. Facing the trap set by these two women, Ji-young doesn't just surrender. He orders his men to stop the tutor on the way and forcefully takes Jack away. Remember, Jack is still so young. As he grows up, this kidnapping will leave deep scars on his mind. The tutor quickly calls Seo-hyun, telling her Ji-young has taken Jack. Finally, Seo-hyun finds Ji-young's assistant and, through threats and bribes, gets Jack released. The tutor looks at her rescued son with pain, knowing they can't wait any longer. She calls Hai-soo immediately. Hai-soo is shocked by the news. That night, the two women secretly plan to protect Jack's safety. They must strike first. During a family dinner, Hai-soo bribes the butler to lure Ji-young into a secret room. The butler locks the door, then pours poison into the vents leading to the room. Toxic gas fills the space. Ji-young struggles to breathe, trying to escape, but the door won't open. Just as he's about to suffocate, the cowardly butler changes his mind, unlocks the door, and drags Ji-young out. Ji-young is now delirious, staggering into the hallway where he sees Hai-soo checking the noise. He lunges, choking her and screaming, "You want to ruin me? Then I'll ruin you first." As Hai-soo nearly blacks out, a fire extinguisher hits Ji-young's head, thrown by the panicked butler. Both lose balance, tumbling down the stairs. Ji-young dies from the fall. The butler, fearing exposure, had attacked from behind. Seo-hyun arrives to see the two bodies on the floor. Her legs buckle in terror. When she goes down to check, she finds Hai-soo still alive. She quickly helps her out. Then she orders the butler to clean up the scene and make it look like Ji-young fell by accident while drunk. After everything is done, Seo-hyun gives the butlers some money and tells them to disappear forever. When things calm down, Hai-soo decides to leave the house. She gives the chairman position to Seo-hyun. Later, Hai-soo and the tutor appear in a foreign country. They raise Lil Jack together. When Seo-hyun finds Hai-soo again, Hai-soo has become a famous director. This is the end of the 2021 South Korean television series Mine. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to support us. We really appreciate it.